Hi guys, here's me, Anna Baby Trader, and I'm today with some adaptable strategy, where maybe after you're gonna be thinking, why do we need that in trading, or why do we need the trading itself? Such a strategy, just not the perfection. And let's test it. Let's see how it's gonna be for us today, and maybe after that all bets that we're gonna have, we might change our opinion, or we may actually add something new to that strategy. Let's go. So here we are at our chart, looking at that and just changing all of that. Here's gonna be the indicators, and that's the fractal. I hope you remember about that indicator. This is the indicator just detecting what already happened. Here is going to be the CCI, and it's so different, if I'm being honest. Indicator depends what period we're going to use. One of the classic periods, it's 7, and I've been using that before also. And this 7 doesn't give us, like the perfect image with the perfect, like tiny steps of what's just going on, but it gave us just the tendency. And of course, with the fractal and CCI, just at that level, at that period, it's gonna be a little bit more tricky, and it actually also depends on the period of the candles. So when we have these 10 seconds candles, and I'm just trying to show you a little bit more different strategies, a little bit more different techniques to predict what we're gonna have today. It is a little bit easier with this CCI on this period. So, or maybe harder. It actually depends on the situation. I just can't give any recipes, any like 100% is going to be working all the time. Yep, it actually like that, but some situation can kill it. That's the thing also about the trading. So let's test it, let's try it, and let's get some results today. And here we are. Look at the chart. Look how actually differently it looks with smaller period of the candles. And this is our bet. Let's just observe what we are actually having right here. So even out of this chart, we may predict it's going to be the downward trend, but that's not enough. Just because we need to predict not only some few candles that are going to be, in 15 seconds and 30 seconds that follow. We need to predict what's going to be in a minute, because our bet is for 1 minute, and that's the image that we need to get. Sometimes you think that you need, just to count all candles that are going to be in 1 minute, but actually you need to count just the end of it. And that's a little bit more harder than it may actually appear to you. And if you check all the indicators that we are having, fractal is just like disappeared. We don't have any fractal right here. We don't have any info from fractal for the latest, maybe a few minutes. And with this bet, we were correct. And with this bet, even CCI gave us a little bit mixed signals out of what actually happening. And I just want to show you how the strategy, how the periods, how the choices of the indicator differently helps you actually. And different situations. And right here, I'm gonna make this bet. I'm just gonna change the amount. I'm gonna make two bets. And look at that. Again and again, where's the fractal? Only God knows. Again and again, what is actually we may see and we may detect out of CCI, we are rising and we are smoothly I detected the fractal, I've been wrong, or it's just appeared. That's the thing also. So fractal gave us the image that the downward trend just ended and we're gonna rise. And CCI also given us some image, but it's still just look how it is about all the candles that just appeared. How it doesn't give us any specific info about the future or about some small fluctuations. So if you gotta choose the high volatility situations on the market with this strategy, I bet it's gonna be too complicated and too unpredictable. So this is just for the 100% when you already sure out of chart what's gonna be, or out of your own experience, and you just want, some I don't know, some proofs from this strategy, from these indicators. Maybe it's going to be working in that cases. Still, we get our profit and we can switch. But anyway, that's just the math, just not the luck. So here, fuller image of what we are having on the chart. And here out of only image, not, even checking the indicators, I can tell you that I just predict we are so at the resistance line. So we quite high, and I do expect it's going to be some break-in just because we are ready for quite a long period of uprising. And CCI is showing us, we're going to get for some downward trend just a little bit, but still unsure, still flat, and you may see why, just because it's still playing fractal. Fractal doesn't show us anything actually right here, so that's why we are just relying on inner thoughts, on our own experience, and on lots of situations where it couldn't be that high for that long. So 10 seconds left for us, and we are already, just move that. We are already detecting that it's just a falling, and CCI started now to show us we were correct, and with the timing we still were correct, because if we gotta enter it a little bit earlier, we could actually lose. So let's switch and go next. And look at that situation. Look at that drastic fall that we actually detecting just watching, just looking at this chart, and look at the CCI. Do we actually see that? Do we see actually the drastic fall on that indicator chart? No. And look at the fractal, showing us that this downward movement just ended, but I do expect it's gonna be still just like that. And actually, this strategy, you may tell me that it's useless. Why do you use that? It doesn't help. It get me more confused and stuff like that. But just out of this chart, I know that I've been telling you before, if there is some drastic and continuation and long falling or rising, we do expect it's gonna end. But here with this CCI, mostly what I actually check here is not the line, but that just the chart, position. And you may see that now the chart position, we are just like not, so downward. Because if it's gonna be like minus, 200, minus 100, I would say there is no space of getting more downward. But in that case, we got some space. And actually, of course, I wasn't like predicting it's gonna be so falling downward. I was just predicting it's gonna be more flat. And maybe after that flat position, it's gonna get upward. So we needed, some plateau, we needed some stage, and after the stage, we're gonna get for some upward one. So it's just the observation actually, not the strategy again and again. So let's make it the last one. And sometimes you meet people who have just, such a heavy energy, such a, some heavy vibe. And that strategy is just like that. I have some headache after because I need to check lots of things and I need to be nervous a lot. I need to be in doubt a lot. So that's not the strategy I do recommend if you want some easy, if you want some predictions, predictable results, if you want to, some rest while trading. This is not like that. You need to think about lots of stuff. And this indicator even can give you some wrong images about what's going on. So out of this trading, I'm gonna be, just resting because it gives me a real headache. And look at that. Again and again, I made my bet and I made it for a downward movement just because it's quite visible still with these indicators. And just look at that. Here, this line located quite in a low position on the chart. But still, I do expect it's going to be some falling, and after that falling, maybe we still have sometimes we're going to be rising. But still, these lines of CCI is just too flat to show us it's going to be the breaking upward movement. So that was the last one, me with my headache, just giving you some last feedback. So guys, as I told you, maybe this is the profitable strategy for someone. Maybe this is the profitable strategy for some periods, for some candles periods, for time frames. But actually for me, of course, it was profitable. So I tried to make it all of that with some profits. But as I told you, that was heavy for me. I don't like that. I don't like, too much pressure. I don't like when it's so hard. Not only because you think maybe I'm not experienced enough or I am afraid to lose some money, just because you need to make so many efforts. And just for what? You can find some strategy that's going to be easier, that it's going to be more reliable and have just the same results. And I don't like that. So if I can get something, I want to get it, just the shorter, the easier way, just because the results are going to be the same. I'm just going to get it and that's it. So that's just my philosophy. And I know some traders, they love to test themselves. They love just to check what their ability in, some difficult situations with some creepy strategist. And I am just right here, can show you also such stuff like that, but I'm getting a little bit more tired than I'm just used to out of this trading and out of this work. I hope you like that. And if you have some comments or changes to that strategy, I'm going to be welcoming just to have your feedback about that. So I'm going to get for some more, and I hope you gotta stay tuned.